May 1st. Start of the month and nothing too crazy occurs. I agree with Takaba, time really does fly, but I don't really think we need to train too hard. We cleared Tartarus pretty easily, but she might be overthinking it as we head to school. With it over, Junpei says that Sanada is getting checked in the hospital. But not only that, but he's been given a job from him as well. Glad he knows he can be counted on. Takaba interjects saying that he simply hasn't got anything going on. He resents that, but she asks what he wants. Apparently it's the class roster for 2E. I wonder why he needs that, but we decide to tag along to find the answer. Personally, I think he can botch the job of giving a roster, so I want to see how that goes as we get going. We enter where he's meant to be, but there's another guy, just looking at us, in silence. Junpei asks if Sanada is around, but no response. Suddenly, he appears. Thankfully, he's looking alright, as the visitor asks if they're done here. He confirms, and the guy has a snarky one-liner, leaving not before seeming to recognize Takaba. With that, we inquire about the man. Apparently, he knows some people who's suffering from apathy syndrome and wanted to chat, but gets to the topic at hand, asking for the roster. Sadly, we don't get any context on why he needs it, just that he's ready to get back into fighting. He is then asked why he picked boxing, and it's simply he wanted to fight with his bare hands, and he never wants to be weak again, calling it all a game, and he's competing against himself. Junpei gets him, saying that he also likes games. Takaba says, yeah, video games. But my man, he loves his fighting game, so it all checks out, as night comes. And I decide to play a game on the computer. This works in my favor, as with this, I am now level 2 in academics, and with that, I call it a night. May 2nd. I head to school and overheard two girls talking. I know about Golden Week starting soon, but apparently a show plays every Sunday. Some sort of show where you can buy stuff from which catches my interest, just a tad bit. So I'll keep that in mind as I finish school and see Chihiro outside all by herself. I try and strike up a conversation with her, but I think her nerves got to her as she came off quite aggressive. So that was a major fail on my behalf, so I give up on that plan, instead hanging out with the old couple at the bookstore. Bunkichi didn't seem to remember me, sadly, asking for my name, but then admits that he's playing with me, saying he's not that senile, admitting that they were thinking of me. Then asks if I like treats. They've got more than enough to share. I don't see why not, thanking them for their generosity. He then asks if I want another, since they'll never be able to finish on their own, and I thank him once more. Suddenly, he asks who I am. Mitsuko reminds him, apologizing on his behalf as he's been quite forgetful lately. He comes back for a moment and gives me the candy until thinking about a boy, wishing he was here now, so they could introduce him. I'm confused on what they mean, but I slowly piece what's going on. Their son had passed away before they did. Quite the bomb to drop as we're in silence, as I feel our bond start to grow closer. He tells us to not be so mopey, and wishes I'll come around another time, and I leave for now quite shell-shocked to be honest. During the night, I play some game where I type ghouls out of existence. The game is so harrowing that I rank up in courage, and with that, I call it a night.
Hi, how are you? It's been a while. Are you well? 1 week from now, there'll be a full moon. Be careful. A new hardship is coming. Yes, on that day, you'll face a great challenge. You need to be prepared, but your time is limited. I'm sure you're aware of that, though. I'll come see you again when it's over. Goodbye for now.
May 3rd. With today being the day off of school, I hurried downstairs to look at that show I overheard about. It was a show called Tanaka's Amazing Commodities. They only had one thing today, a rose bouquet, which didn't really catch my interest all that much, but then I saw 2 SP items and that was a different story and was the reason why I bought it. And with that done, I ended up going upstairs to hang out with Maya. I logged on and looked around, and she sees me, not before questioning the area's name, but asks if I remember her. I confirm that I do, making her quite happy. She says it's just like with Tatsuya and Maya, then asks what type of people we are playing inside on such a lovely day. I joke that the sunshine is overrated. That gets a laugh out of her, agreeing she's a gamer for life. Then asks shouldn't we be grinding, but admits that she finds it more fun talking to me as I feel our bonds start to grow closer. Suddenly, she has some more important adult things to do, like buying stuff that's on sale, and she logs off for the day, and I do as well. During the night, thanks to my courage, I'm able to enter the club and talk to a suspicious guy in the corner. He has URLs for me to access the dark web. Ooh, doesn't sound too spooky to be honest. But I'll admit, I am quite curious, but not tonight, as I ended up deciding on playing a game to teach me some etiquette, which boosts my charm. May 4th. Sadly, since I don't have too many social links I can do when school is off, except for Maya, I ended up spending today mainly boosting my social stats. During the day, it was my charm, which got me to rank 2, and then during the night, it was both my charm and courage since I worked at the cafe. May 5th. I spent Tuesday pretty much the same way I did yesterday. In the morning, I got my academics up by using some sort of cram study program on the shared computer, and just before getting ready to go to work at the cafe, my amazing commodities arrived. I doubt they'll help me with whatever is waiting for me on Saturday, but it's better than nothing as I eventually head to work at the cafe for those sweet, sweet boosts in yen. May 6. And at school like usual, I overhear something about rabbits dying from sadness, only for that conversation to pivot about a girl at the shrine that's apparently sad. I guess I'll have to be the judge of that, as with a question answered correctly in class, we head to the shrine and I find the girl that they were talking about. She introduces herself fast, calling herself Maiko, asking if I'm a bad person. I don't think so, but she asks if I'm lying. But her desire for food trumps stranger danger as she wants something that sounds like takoyaki. I quickly go to the mall and get her some of that tasty takoyaki for only 400 yen, even got an extra ones for the full moon. As I give it to her, she's thankful it's her favourite after all. But all of a sudden, she now wants a fizzy drink, a mad and bitter drink. I know exactly what she wants, so I head to the station and grab a Mad Bull. Even got one for myself as I head back to her and give it to her. She's seen to work, as she wants to see me another time. I can already see a social link coming out of this, so I'll have to return later. Heading to the mall, my charm has increased enough that the Gourmet King should notice me. He looks at me, likely at my slim body, and makes me go for a gourmet quiz, and only then will he believe that I'm a gourmet enjoyer. After another helping of his food, the question starts. First, what's the most popular drink at Cafe Chagall? Pheromone coffee. What's the color of Azuki-chan's skirt? Red. And finally, what item is on the secret menu at Hagakure? And that is the Hagakure bowl. That all impressed him. I have some knowledge of food, but it's not as good as his, but he tasked me to find him an odd morsel, and only then will he admit that I'm a fellow gourmet. I remember I did get something that fits that description in Tartarus, as he eyes it and happily eats it, calling it bad, but it was enough for him to take interest in me, so I spend the day with him. He's an interesting guy. Put it kindly, he gets annoyed at me being so close to him as I'm so thin and cool, believing people will think that he's the uncool one. Suddenly a guy appears seeming quite angry at the Gourmet King, saying threatening things, seeming he has something the guy wants, as he rushes to my side for me to protect him. The old guy says his real name, telling him that he's not getting away easy, and he should reconsider some things before turning to leave. I'm curious on what he could have done to piss this man off so much. As he introduces himself, his name is Nozumi Sumitsu. As my protection of him, it starts a bond between us, showing itself to be the Moon Arcana. And with him being proud of his position as the Gourmet King of whatever year and his stomach disliking his diet, we go our separate ways. And during the night, I simply worked at the cafe for some of that sweet yen and social points. May 7th. Day starts and I try round 2 of talking to Chihiro. She apologizes for last time and admits that she's pretty bad at talking to boys. All she can think about is running away. I think about that and say that I'm a guy, which didn't really go anywhere, just her wanting to overcome her phobia of men. And with another failure on my hands, I give up for the time being and go to track. Me and Miyamoto head to the track and he comments on his side hurting, but that's simply quitter talk. As I tell him to toughen up, he replies that it's easy for me to say, seeing how I'm pushing myself and I don't even look tired, asking for my training regiment. As much as I feel like saying hunting shadows at night, he'd look at me if I was crazy, so I say it's a special regiment. He can see that, saying that I totally destroyed him, but he's made up his mind. He's going to make me eat his dust, as a rivalry forms between us as our bond grows closer. Suddenly, as soon as he says that we should go, he feels a sharp pain in his leg. I ask if he's okay, and he replies that he may have twisted his knee, as we part ways for now. However, on my way home, I saw Yuko, and asked if she would like to walk home together. This time it worked, but she wanted to stop at Cafe Chagall to talk, admitting that it's tough being a team manager, as she gets little respect and the boys act like little kids, asking for things like towels and to wash their stuff. But it has its ups since she doesn't need to worry about gaining weight, and then asks if I'm having fun, and I admit that I am. She's happy to hear, admitting that she thought I'd be bored of it since I'm better than everyone else. She can tell by the way I have my own style and I don't waste energy. But if I have any questions, I should ask Kaz, as she knows we're in the same class. And I can also talk to her too, since she's the manager after all. She seems quite nice to be around, to be honest. And with a nice conversation, our bond starts to form, showing itself to be the Strength Arcana. With that done, she realizes a show that she watches is on and leaves so she can watch it. And I head home myself. And as boring as it is doing essentially nothing on the night, I simply played a game about dieting to get charm boosts. May 8th. School's finished uneventfully, and I went to track. Hanging out with both Miyamoto and Yuko yesterday invigorated my interest in it. We're about to start until suddenly Miyamoto feels a sharp pain in his ankle. Unlike yesterday, it's way worse as he falls to the ground in pain. We have no choice but to take him to medical. Apparently he has anemia. The two members are worried for him, but there's still time before the next big race that's next year, so he should just take care of himself for now. They also tell me to leave practice early just to take care of him, which works for me, as they leave. He says to me that he's going to just be fine, his anemia is just merely acting up. I ask if he's really going to be okay. As much as his anemia case he's building up is working in his mind, he's honest with me and says that it's his knee. It hasn't felt right since the first time I came to practice. He's tried all sorts of methods, but the pain is unyielding. I ask if it will heal. He's sure it will, but he can't stop training, so he's gonna deal with it. After all, next year is the national competition. There's gonna be athletes all over Japan. Regionals doesn't even hold a candle in comparison. He knows the others will not let him train if they knew, but he feels he can rely on me with this information, and I'm unsure on if to say the truth or not, but for now, our bond has grown closer. With that, he says for me just to go back to training and not to worry about him, as I decide to ultimately head home and get some studying done. May 9th.
You're still at it?
Yes, you never know when an enemy might appear.
But I thought you couldn't scan outside of Tartarus.
To be honest, I am indeed lacking in that area. Maybe this is the best Penthesilea can do in terms of data gathering. Though I must say, the power of Persona seems to be much more diverse than I once thought. We even have someone who can switch personas in the midst of battle. There's something special about his ability. And it hasn't even been that long since his awakening.
Yeah, I was surprised too. But in the end, it's up to him whether or not he reaches his full potential.
It's a shadow.
What? You actually found one?
Wait, something's not right. The reading is too big. I've never detected an enemy of this size.
Wait. Is it like that huge one from last month?
I think so.
Oh, well then. This is gonna be fun. I'll wake up the others.
We've been summoned by Kirijo and Sonata. It seems the kid who appeared during the Dark Hour was telling the truth. Something is going on, just like last month. The shadows are causing damage to the city, and while people sleep peacefully in their coffins, if the city is destroyed, inconsistencies will be left behind, which means we need to step in. Sadly, Kirijo doesn't want Sonata to join the fight, and he still needs to recover. He's a little angered by that, but she tells him to have faith in us. That gets Junpei hyped, but he deflates hearing that I'll be the leader once more, which I do agree with. It's worked so far. And with Junpei being a sore loser, we get going. As we wait, Takaba notes about the moon and how it being full during the dark hour makes it look even creepier. Suddenly, Kirijo appears apologizing for making us wait. She'll be playing as support once more. We will need to get onto the tracks to pursue the shadow. Junpei is rightfully worried about the train, but apparently electronics do not work during the dark hour. When asked about her bike, she says that it was made for the dark hour and tells us to essentially go, and if things change, she'll notify us. We make our way to the stalled train. Takaba asks if this is it. It takes a moment for Kirijo to answer, but confirms that this is it, and we'll have to get inside, but to proceed with caution. We heed the warning and get going.
Well then.
Clear your head now, watch 'em peek.
Don't you dare look up.
Yeah, I won't. But don't blame me if I happen to catch a glimpse.
Say, why don't we dig Junpei a nice grave?
We head inside the train as Junpei notes about how creepy the coffins are. It seems the shadows know that we're here.
Huh?
Damn!
What's wrong? What happened?
It looks like we're trapped inside.
It must be the shadow. It knows you're there. Be ready for anything. Stay on full alert.
Roger.
We start to go through each of the cars until suddenly we're stopped by an emerging shadow. Could this be the one they were warned about? But it simply turns and leaves. Junpei gets mad, asking for it to come back, but Kirijo is unsure of the situation, believing it to be a trap. Junpei doesn't quite listen, as Kirijo asks me my opinion, as I am the acting leader. I agree with her that it's likely a bad idea to go for it, but sadly Junpei disagrees.
So what if it's dangerous? We can beat that bit hell. I'll do it myself.
Junpei, wait!
Watch out! Behind you!
With Junpei wanting so hard to do things his way, the Junpei way, we're separated and have to deal with multiple shadows impeding our path to rescue the idiot. Thankfully, they were pretty easy to beat, even without the idiot Junpei, as I can make my own Aggie spells. As we eventually catch up to him being cornered by multiple shadows regardless of his opinion, we come in and back up, and handle it pretty easily actually. Takaba grills him on what's going on, and he's actually more reserved than usual. I guess mad about the whole thing. I can't really be sure until suddenly.
Be careful, you three. I don't detect any movement, but stay alert.
Whoa, what the? Why are we moving?
It looks like the entire monorail is under the shadow.
What?
If we don't stop it, it's going to crash into the
Crash? Hey, what are we gonna do?
Calm down and listen. I detect a powerful reading in the front. You'll have to defeat that to stop the runaway train.
Crap!
With another easy fight, we push onwards until we finally face the final door of the monorail, and it's frozen over. Whatever is inside is likely strong, so I steel my resolve and open the door.
There it is! The hell is this? That's our target?
It has to be. There's nowhere else to go. Approaching the other train. Hurry!
Hurry? are we even supposed to do here?
I've never seen one this big before, but there's no time. We have to end this now!
This isn't all that hard of a boss fight, but I will be perfectly honest and I messed up in my initial attempt at dying halfway through the fight. Other than that, the initial fight let me know what each of the allies it summons weaknesses are and the scripted moves it does. Usually special move, reduce timer, summon attack, and that and so forth. So with that in mind, I played the battle methodically and healed when I knew it was required, and eventually I was pushed close to the edge, but Takaba finished it off.
Now's the time.
Did we? Hey, wait! Why are we still moving?
We're going too fast. We need to put on the brakes or...
What are you waiting for? You're coming up on the next train fast!
Damn it! I don't know how to stop this thing! Did we stop?
I think so.
Do you read me? Is everyone alright?
Yeah. We're okay. My knees are shaking.
Dude, I'm like drenched in sweat.
It sounds like you're safe. I'm sorry I couldn't do more to help on my end. I don't detect any more shadows. Well done.
Wait, how did you know which one was the... You saved me again. Thanks.
You know what? Never mind. Anyone want to grab a bite to eat on the way? I'm freaking starving.
It's me.
Reporting in from the scene. The monorail did not sustain any noticeable damage.
A job well... When I heard they hijacked a monorail, now I don't have to worry about tomorrow's headlines.
The team did a great job. They've learned a lot in a surprisingly short time.
But what was up with the Shadow? They'd never done something like hijacking a train before. This is getting out of hand.
I'll be looking into the matter.
Does this mean it's begun?
Let's not jump to any conclusions. For now, we should study their behavior for patterns or clues. We can't afford to keep waiting for them to make the first move.
If only I had more power, things wouldn't be so difficult for everyone.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing fine. More importantly, do you have anything to drink, Sanada-kun?
Huh? Why do you look so tired, Ikutsuki-san? Wait. Don't tell me that bicycle outside is yours.
Boy, am I going to be sore tomorrow.
May 10th. With it being Sunday and my only choice of people to hang out with is Maya and Suimitsu, I decided to get the worst out of the two over with and hang out with the king of gourmet. He treats me to some ramen and is impressed I could keep up with him, asking how I stay so thin, believing that looks can be deceiving. He then suddenly thinks there's others out there wanting his title as the gourmet king, and the guy who appeared last time was an assassin. but he'll simply have to wait and see if that holds true, as he crowns me the Gourmet King's royal guard, but thinks that might be a little too heavy for me to bear as our bond grows closer. Suddenly, he tells me I'm a grade lower than him, making me his younger brother, at least if he follows his feelings, asking if I would like that. I don't see what harm that could bring, so I agree. He thinks I resemble him, but that's simply impossible. I guess he had a brother, but bad memories get him feeling hungry, and even though he had his fill, he better stay true to form and keep eating, and decides to do a moonwalk, which is pretty impressive for his size. But now that I'm a part of his royal guard, I must join him, so I guess I have no real choice, huh?
Hello, this is Elizabeth speaking. I would appreciate it if you could come to the Velvet Room. There is a matter I would like to discuss with you. Goodbye now.
I wonder what Elizabeth could ever want from me, so I get going to her, and basically, she wants me to do some requests for her, simply going on an escort mission to show her places she'd like to see. And I will be rewarded for these missions, and she'll be looking forward to it. A lot of them are basic, just wanting me to do general missions, like destroying shadows and collecting that document I found. Some have deadlines, like the one for pine resin. I know pine resin is used in archery, and Yukari is part of the archery club, so she was the first person I talked to, and she gave me some. On my way back, I got the muscle drink she wanted, and I handed her the fruits of my labor. She thanks me for my efforts, and mainly just wanted to experience the flavor of mankind. But now wants to try entertainment with a video game. I know just the person, as Junpei is glad I'm getting into games, and gives me a handheld, which I give to Elizabeth. She is content with it. Sadly, however, the rest of her missions aren't possible as of now, so I end up heading back and getting started as I become a member of Umiyushi, so I can get that beef bowl that she wants. I do realize I might be going out of my way to help her, but she kinda helps fuse my power, so I best behave. May 11th. Midterms are coming up, so I'll probably need to get some studying. I'm interested in seeing how Junpei goes. I can already see it. Worst grade in the class? No, in the state? Could he be sent back a grade? Shitting on Junpei aside, school eventually finished with no hassle, as I spent the afternoon with Maiko. It was mainly just playing around, following all her desires, until she asked me what I would like to do, and I decided the jungle gym. I was always a fan of it, and she agrees on that, but I note that it's getting quite dark, which is when she admits that she doesn't want to go home. She likes it here, and wants to play some more. As I feel with those words, a bond starts to form between us, showing itself to be the Hangman Arcana. She says that all her parents do is argue and fight. Recently, they've talked about a divorce. She told them not to, but they weren't listening to her, believing they might not care about her. Going quiet for a moment and tells me when she'll be here, and I should come and see her, and with that agreement, we go our separate ways. When I got home, Mitsuru asked me to check on the logs. They seem to be bugging out, or at least that's what she says. So I went to go do it, and instead I found something interesting.
Shadow in the middle of town. It managed to take over public transportation. I should investigate whether this means it's finally begun. The monorail. I bet this subject would make a good one-liner. Oh, I need to note that one down. Unfortunately, Lady Luck played a large part in our victory, especially toward the end. If he hadn't guessed at the right controls, things could have been very bad. For shadows to work in a group to overrun large machines is unprecedented. The engine. That was an ingenious move. What is it with me today? I'm on a roll. Better write that one down too. Always be prepared for heavy lifting during a mission. Because shadows aren't light. Oh, whoa, I'm getting a little off subject. Oh, but who cares? Hey, I should write all these down and show them off the next time everyone gets together. Don't care for seafood? They also serve ground beef. Oh, this has nothing to do with the status report anymore, but I'm having a blast. Let's see, what else?
I'm not gonna comment on that. Instead, I went to get the beef bowl for Elizabeth. With her grabs and an extra for myself, I head to her, and all that's left now is to get more shadow kills done and to find that last vending machine which contains the final drink she desires. I have no idea what that could be, so for now, I just work at the cafe for that yen and sweet social points. May 12th. When I woke up, I got a message from Junpei. He wanted to hang outside of class, and the game introduces me to linked episodes. Sadly, this mechanic isn't all that useful, unlike the ones that give you traits. Giving you simple stat boosts for characters isn't that amazing. But I decided to just go and hang out with Junpei today after school, which is when I add nothing really actually happened except for this event. We went to the arcade. Obviously he's into fighting games. He asked me if I can imagine if we had some sort of super badass attack. I admit I like the idea, it may even come someday. He's happy that I'm on board with him. After all, our power comes from our heart. Believing that comics and games gives us a little bit of inspiration, seeing heroes in action just pumps him up and gives him ideas to fight better. He then mentions what we did in the monorail, calling it awesome, but I can only remember him getting himself into danger and being weird. He simply says that that's just in the past, admitting he wasn't on his game then, but next time it'll be a home run, and I expect nothing less from you. He says I'm finally sounding like a leader. He also talks about wanting to do his best. With his power and this mission, he's got a lot of good things going for him now, and he's been waiting for something like this to happen. He feels like his life is starting to go somewhere. And also, he talked about his hopes of being the leader, but I just don't see it, sorry man. But with that semi-serious talk, we finally get into playing these games. This is a ground that he might actually get me on, so for the rest of the afternoon, we throw down. And on my way home, I went back to the cafe to work for that yen and social points. May 13th. After getting another question in class right that boosts one's charm, I decided since I already have a persona that works with the Hierophant Arcana to hang out with the old couple. When I enter the store, the forgetful Binkichi is looking for something. I call out to him and he asks how I know. He is calling me a psychic. He was looking for his glasses, no, his wallet. He can't find it. I say that I can help, he's happy to hear, asking if I can really read his mind. He was hoping someone can help him find it. I try my best to find his wallet, but it's not looking good. And now, okay, out of character, I'm just gonna let this Frenchman speak.
Bonjour! I found something important on the ground outside. Does this belong to you?
Oh, yes, that's it. I've been looking for this wallet everywhere. It may not be full of silver or gold, but this here is an even bigger treasure to me.
Excuse me. Are you not the transfer student everyone is talking about? I am one as well. I am a student at Gekukan. I am here from France as an exchange student. My name is André Laurent Jean Geroux. But you can call me Bebe. It's quite nice to meet you. I am delighted to, make your acquaintance. Yorishiko! I train in the home economics room every day. If you get bored, come join me. Well then, au revoir and sayonara!
I agree, Mitsuko. This Bebe guy is very classy. However, we now finally got the wallet. We get to what he wanted it for, knowing he put it in there. It was car keys. Seeing such a nice boy is making him feel young again, wanting to give it a drive. But that idea horrifies the poor Mitsuko, saying, why must he do that? Does he want to leave her all alone? I ask what's going on, and she apologizes for raising her voice. Bunkichi feels down, telling me how his son passed away. He got into an accident on the road, being hit by a dump truck driver who was drunk on the job. I feel bad for them, as Bunkichi beats himself over it, worried about how his wife must feel with his selfishness as our bond grows closer. Suddenly, it seems his age is showing as he forgets why we're all feeling down, and decides that he'll treat his wife to some dinner, giving me some medicine as a thank you, and with that, I once again go to the cafe for those social boosts and yen. May 14th. Nothing of note happened during school, and when it was over, I went to hang out with the old couple. Bunkichi notes my timing being quite poor as his wife has gone to Gekkoukan. I'm assuming she's gonna go look at the tree. I say I should go check on her, but he assures me that it's not needed, asking if I will keep him company while she's away, even wanting to share a drink between us, but then realizes he's missing the cups, thinking he can't do anything without his wife. Almost like she heard her name, she enters, but she looks unwell, to say it nicely. It's something about the tree. Bunkichi is worried, telling her to take a deep breath and to drink some tea, giving me some as well. However, if she's acting like that, then the rumors may be true. The persimmon tree, they told me that the rumor is that Gekkoukan is going to be cutting it down. When Mitsuko heard it, she nearly fainted. He asks if I know anything about it, and I admit that I'm worried. He calls me sweet, but airs his worry as well, admitting he looked into the allegations, but he was barking up the wrong tree. Good one, Bunkichi. However, Mitsuko asks if I can find anything out, please tell them. And with that, our bond grows closer. She admits that she makes it sound important, but she doesn't want to rush me or anything. And I make a promise that I will anything for them after all, as during the night, I stay around to get myself the Prodigy Platter for those sweet academic boosts. May 15th. Heading to school, Korea asks me if I'm prepared for the exams. I say that I am, and she's happy to hear, even saying that she'll give me a little something if I get a good score. So that gives me more reason to work hard. And then we talk about C's related things as we head inside. And with another question correct in class, school was over, and I spent the afternoon with the old couple. Thankfully, it was a peaceful time, mainly talking about the persimmon tree, but Bunkichi thought I made a ripping pun with barking up one's tree, which is all you, man. However, they tell me in all honesty that the tree is a reminder of their son. He was in fact a teacher at Gekkoukan. He planted it when his first class graduated. Mitsuko thought that it would bear fruit, so why now? I reassure her it will be fine, and she is hopeful, with that making Bunkichi laugh, saying I must be popular with the ladies. His wife is no sucker, believing he's looking at his prime self when he sees me. I feel an ounce of honor in that, as our bond grows closer. With that, Bunkichi assures me I need not worry about the tree and to visit when I can. He even snuck in a crab bread on my way out. And during the night, I more or less got invited to study with Kirijo and Sanada, and they are my seniors, so I may learn much from them. And mainly academic boosts are on the horizon, so I join in.
Sorry, Mitsuru. I'm almost done. Yeah, she's letting me copy them. It covers the time I was at the hospital for my checkup.
Akihiko, are you feeling unwell? You seem to be short of breath.
I'll be fine. More importantly, why don't you help his studies? He ended up in the hospital right after transferring. Might need some help to make up for the class time he's missed.
You do have a point. Here, these are my notes from last year. You can use them if you'd like. I don't think the content of the class has changed much since then.
Your notes are as perfect as ever. They're easier to understand than the textbook itself.
Flattery will get you nowhere. But I suppose I am rather particular about my note-taking. In class, I listen closely and write down bullet points. Then I organize them later into a more readable format. It's a bit time-consuming, but I find it's overall a more efficient way of reviewing the material. If you plan your day-to-day tasks effectively, test preparation is as good as done. seem to have a knack for this.
Mitsuru's right. Efficiency is key. We're all given the same amount of time. It's how well you manage it that can set you apart.
Indeed, not even a second of time should be wasted. On that note, shall we return to studying?
All right, done.
Huh? Akihiko, you're drenched in sweat and that heavy breathing. Are you sure you're...
I'm fine. I've just been squatting over my chair this whole time. Wanted to challenge myself to hold it until I was done with your notes. Working out while studying is quite an efficient use of my time. What do you say?
Why are you like this? I thought I told you not to push yourself until you fully recovered. If you take efficiency too far, it'll backfire. Don't follow his example, okay? Well then, I think we've made a fair amount of progress. Let's call it a night.
May 16th. I was heading to school as Sonata gave me the good news. He'll be able to join us in C's activities after the midterm since his arm is all healed up, and he wants to make up for the lost time, which works for me as we head to class, and with a lecture that gives me academic points, school was over, and I spent the afternoon with Maiko. She wanted to show me her epic slide trick and then wanted some wild duck, of course on my dime, but that's okay. She admits that she loves going out to eat because her parents get along. They'd have so much fun together. Why would they get a divorce? It took the will of Zeus to not say the bad option, admitting that I have no answer for that. And she says that she asked them, but they simply said it's grown-up problems. And she slowly breaks down because she doesn't want them to get separated. I let her get that feeling out of her, and she ends up apologizing, saying she knows it's awkward for me when she cries, having a fake smile on her face, but I do feel like our bond has grown closer. After that, she says that she needs to get going now, hoping to see me again, and with that, I head back to the dorm to help that poor bastard Junpei study.
Man, this sucks. Guess I don't have much choice with Kirijo-senpai getting on my case. She was like, if you fail your midterm, there will be consequences. I feared for my life for a second. You guys are my only hope. Give me a hand here, please.
You can start by taking this seriously. You've been distracted this whole time.
As they say, it pays to be prepared. Gotta get myself in the right mindset first, right? A good study session needs a clean and organized workspace, and the perfect mood for learning. And so, to set that mood, I, Junpei Iori, volunteer.
What? Where is this coming from?
You there, young man! What lecture would you like to hear from the great Junpei? History, arithmetic, literature? Aha! A man of culture. Literature it is, then. Have you ever read the famous dystopian science fiction novel 1984? Oh, you haven't? That's a shame, but oh well!
I'd really like to close the book on this chapter.
Look, we all need a breather sometimes. What'd you think about the great Junpei's lecture, dude? Ah, quite the studious young man, aren't you? Then allow me to give you my best lecture yet.
Stupay, you're starting to infect his mind too. If we keep humoring you, it's going to impact our studies too. Or maybe we should just let you fail. Find out what Kirijo-senpai's consequences are like firsthand.
Whoa, let's not get hasty here. I was just joking around. I'll get serious, I swear. Don't abandon me. Oh, this goes like that. then you take that and carry it over to here. And then... Hey, man. You mind giving me a little help?
Oh, look.
About that joke I was telling earlier.
Why don't we just pretend this guy doesn't exist and study on our own? I guess that's enough studying for today. Thanks to you, I got a lot more done.
May 17th. Before hanging out with Maya today, I went to get a persona that was in the Hermit Arcana so I can get the boost while socializing with her, and with it collected, I hop on the MMO. Maya was already waiting for me by the looks of it, and she adds that she's drunk. That surprises me, but that confirms that she is an adult. She wants me to save her, she's sick of her job and has no time to party. She's enjoying herself as she adds that she's got 3 beers and counting, asking me to hold back her hair. By the sounds of it, she must have some sort of office job that makes her work at home. Honestly, that would suck, not the type of job that I would like. She continues that she wasn't always like this, she didn't have to work in the weekend, but lately, she hasn't been motivated to get the work done. I ask if she's burnt out. She replies that's what the beers are for. She used to be able to blast through them, but it's been 8 years. She thinks that she's getting old. She just wants her game and drink time. But she's haunted by the evil deadlines. I can relate with that since exams are tomorrow, which she has her own exam for me she'll be making me do. And if that is internet lingo, I might have a hard time. With me still not understanding the enigma that is her, our bond has grown closer. She then asks me if I've ever said LOL IRL on accident, and adds a ruffle, but not to tell anyone, she would lose her job, and with that interesting conversation, I head downstairs to get even more exam studying done for those academic boosts.
Yes, correct. The answer is May Blues. Next, for the following sentence. What's the matter, Iori? Feeling the May Blues?
What? Oh, it's nothing.
Kirijo-senpai, about this question here.
Hey, dude. Oh, you smell that? It's insane. How would you expect me to do that? Oh, come on. That fragrance across the table is just...
Yeah, I know what you mean. To be honest, I can't get enough of it.
Ha-ha! Now that's what I'm talking about, Sonata-san. Man, this is heaven. Such grace, such elegance. Truly the fragrance of the upper class.
I'd personally describe it as stimulating. I can almost taste the juicy tenderness.
What?
Oh, I was heating up a beef bowl for a late night snack. That was pretty good, right?
A beef bowl? That's what you were talking about? Not you too! Come on! Guys like us should be thinking with our... well, not our stomachs! Sonata-san, you don't happen to have any extra, do you?
No eating until you've gotten some work done. Stay focused. Keep your hand moving.
Beef! Beef! Beef!
For goodness sake. All right, if you answer 5 more questions correctly, you can have your food.
Yeah! Beef! Beef! Beef!
You're like a horse with a carrot dangled in its face.
One mention of food and you finally give a crap. That's all it takes, huh?
All right, that should be enough for tonight. Make sure not to eat too much before bed.
It's been a while, and that's honestly because of the exams. So let's talk about how that went, shall we? Monday was the day it all began, and I rushed to school. When I got sat down, the first day was mainly answering questions and they weren't too hard. I think I did pretty well. On the Tuesday, I got a familiar question. What is the other common expression used to describe May sickness? May blues. For Wednesday, it was pretty much the same, a familiar question. Which of the following did Léon Foucault use in his experiment on the rotation of the Earth? A pendulum. On Thursday, the question was, which of the following is generated by a pantograph? Electricity. Friday was during which historical period were middens most commonly used? Jomon. And finally, on the Saturday, which is the day I'm writing this, before going into class for the last exam, Sanada gave me the good news that he has fully healed and will be able to join us in C's activities starting now, which is just great to hear. It'll be nice to have an extra hand in that department. And finally, entering that class, the exam was mostly the same. It was just a bunch of familiar questions. Honestly, I'm feeling quite confident in my score. And with that all finally done, I'm free to spend the afternoon with the old couple, and with the hope that our bond will grow closer, the night comes. The conversation started with what I already know, that he is fully recovered from his injury and will join us, but it seems that the investigation he was looking into with Class 2E has bared fruit, as they found another Persona user. Her name is Fuka Yamagishi. Takeba seems familiar with her, but she gets sick a lot from what Takeba's heard. In actual fact, he found out about her since they were admitted to the same hospital. However, Tsunade admits that with her health, she's unlikely able to fight, which is a shame since they already had an evoker ready to go. Junpei says stupid things, let's just go with that, and to finish off the night, I eat some seafood, but man, I'm just really glad those damn exams are over. May 24th. The exams are over, I have the day off, however some social links hit my phone wanting to hang out, and out of the two I decided on Miyamoto. However, before I did that I had to check on the commodities I could get, and the all-purpose apron, while being quite pricey, might be useful for the eventual shadows we face, so I bought it and headed out to eat with Miyamoto. Overall, it was a pretty chill chat with Miyamoto. He actually thinks it would be funny if his knee problems were coming from growing pains. Then thinks he doesn't want that, he's not going to get into pro boxing, and then tells me I may have his rice. He's cutting down on carbs. I ask if he's a bread guy, which catches him off guard, not expecting to be a joker. It seems he's enjoying our little trip as he's now left to think about wanting to eat that rice. But he's got to control himself, wanting me to eat it more and more, and with the hanging out with Miyamoto over, I'm feeling like the gourmet king as I decide to get even more food to further boost my academics. May 25th. I was heading to school as Takeba got something funny to tell me. Apparently Junpei was heading to school all doom and gloom. I guess the fact that the results will be public to see has got him scared and wanting to hide. I don't blame him. If Kirijo sees it, that will be interesting. And with that and a small talk about Yamagishi, we head inside. During lunch, a kid ran out about the exam results are up and we go and check, and I scored in the top 10. I'm pretty proud in that as I get some boost to my charm and know that Kirijo has something for me as I head into class and listen to a boring lecture for those academic boosts, which gets me to finally be rank 3, we're halfway there. With school over, I saw Kirijo, she gave me my reward, which was pretty solid to be honest, and then I had to check the scores and what I expected, especially Junpei's, or I guess Stupei, huh? Anyways, with that over, I head to the track with Miyamoto. But then I noticed that I couldn't actually see him, he must have skipped, which is surprising because we came together. And then when it was over, I was at the gate and sure enough I saw him. He said that he was coming back from practice. I asked where he was and he simply said that his mum was on his case and she made him go to the hospital about the whole knee thing, making an appointment without his knowledge. I say that must suck and he agrees, calling it exhausting, but they took some x-rays and he'll know something soon. But then once again tells me not to tell anyone. He went there, counting on me once more, even feeling apologetic, and with that, our bond grows closer. With that, he wants to get some running in, but then he realizes since I'm here, it's over, so he goes on home and I do as well.
Perfect timing. Would you mind heading to the rooftop with me? It isn't anything important. I just wanted to show you something. And I just so happen to have the key to the rooftop. Now then, shall we go? Do you recall fighting that while cleaning up the aftermath? And I couldn't help myself from... So, what do you think? You have impeccable taste. I'm glad my effort. Unfortunately, I can feel my back giving out after all that hard... But I digress. There is, in fact, a reason I brought you here. I'd like you to use these planters however you see fit. Although I did set them up, I'm afraid that I won't be able to tend to a garden as often as I'd like. I did mention it to Kirijo-kun, but it didn't catch on, I suppose, due to her upbringing. Besides, you're able to cook meals at the dorm, correct? Well, now you can grow your own vegetables for healthy eating. I'm glad you think so. It would mean a lot to me if you made good use of the planters. Once you get started, you'll find there's a lot that can be done. Here are some seedlings. You should be able to purchase other types of seedlings around the city. Feel free to experiment. Well, it's time to raise the roof and elevate this garden to new heights. Eat your veggies, peas.
Horrible pun aside, I decided to placate the chairman and plant some tomatoes, and then I spent a night working at the cafe for those social boosts and yen. May 26. In a school, I had a fun interaction with Junpei. To say it simply, he asked how it went with the exams, and I mean, it's public to see, man. You can see that I got top 10 and you got bottom 10. That was pretty mean, but yeah, just another showing of why I'm leader. As Junpei is kind of just down in the dumps, and that includes the fact that Yamagishi likely won't be joining our extracurriculars, which I kind of get, having more is better, but we've got Sonata, so I'll take that for now, as we head to class. School was a breeze, and finally, after multiple attempts, Chihiro is willing to spend time with me. And she is pretty shy, asking once more if it is okay. Obviously, something has happened to make her feel so on edge with men, so I asked her just to relax. She agrees, admitting that she knows she has to, and there are a lot of boys in the student council as well, so it's something that she needs to work on. But then realizes that school is over, and she walks me back to the dorm. Neither of us speak during that. She stares blankly at me and admits that she was trying to come up with something I would be interested in, but couldn't think of anything. She realizes we're at the dorm and she lives in the opposite direction. I just feel bad now, I should have asked. She replies that it's not my fault. She knew where we were going in the wrong direction and didn't say anything, but despite everything, she seemed to enjoy herself, thanking me for the trip. As with that, I feel a possible bond between us showing itself to be the Justice Arcana. And with that, she heads home, leaving me to want to go to Tartarus. But sadly, a certain man named Junpei had more important things to do, which sucks, but hey, there's always tomorrow, as I work at the cafe instead. May 17th. As I was at school, I overheard people, it sounds like fate. It's plant related, which means that I can probably get seeds from there, which means I've got an adventure on my hands after school. So let's talk about that. I unlocked a new area, and in this area I got another vending machine. This completes my quest with Elizabeth, and I collect my seeds, going back to the mall to complete that quest. And with Elizabeth happy, I headed to school, and noticed the sewing class. I remembered the transfer student, and decided since I could read French, at least at a basic level, I head inside to join. Bebe is working on a project and happy with the results. He's really into it. I say hi, it catches him off guard, and he says bonjour. He hasn't seen me since the bookstore and is glad that I am here. I ask what he's doing, and he says that he's working on an art piece. His club is the fashion club, and it's making new stuff for people to wear. And he asked me quite nicely if I would like to join, and I mean, sure, why not? I can already smell a social link, and he is happy that I'm joining, likely because I'm the first. He gives me the days that they're open and hopes that we can be friends. And with those magical words, a bond forms between us, showing itself to be the Temperance Arcana. We then say our goodbyes, but before that, he asks what the best way to say goodbye is. And you know, I had to say it.
I understand perfectly.
I'll be back.
We finally arrived at Tartarus, and me and Sonata have a small talk, mainly about what type of fighter he is, and honestly, it was about what I expected, but it's going to be real nice to have an experienced fighter in here. But without further ado, let's get started. Just how Kirijo said, the path that has once been blocked is open for us, and we get going inside. And I'll be honest, Sonata was doing real solid work, it was great to have him. But now for the real talk, the bosses. The first one was Will-O-Wisp Raven, which wasn't anything too challenging. It was mainly choosing all sorts of elements. I was shocked, I was confused, I didn't know what to use, and then I realized it's a fire fix. It wasn't too hard after that. When we got to floor 34, we found no enemy but a portal. I was confused but pushed forward, however, it was a trap. We were stuck from back-to-back fights. I played it extremely risky in the first battle against the Magist, getting Junpei killed, which poor planning on my end, but I knew that its weakness was, and was able to take it down with not too much hassle. And the fight against the Disturbing Dice was genuinely pure luck. Takaba got a crit on the dice, and then we got a good all-out attack. That stunned it for the entire fight, and his ally got up and then immediately got put down so I could get the final loud attack, which is just a skill issue on their behalf, let's be honest. However, with them gone, I was able to get the sword for Elizabeth. But by then, I was honestly tapped out, almost having a close call with death. Going further, I didn't want to waste any more SP items, so I just ran to the next guardian and called it quits there. Heading back to accept any quests from Elizabeth, do a little bit of persona fusing, and then I called it there. May 28th. Nothing too eventful happened in the morning, just a lecture that gave me a knowledge boost, and with that school was over, and I spent the afternoon with Chihiro. She wanted to stop by somewhere on the way home, and it turned out to be the bookstore. She apologizes for dragging me here. I tell her not to worry, it's nice to see the old couple from time to time, but I doubt she knows that we have a connection. But she was so busy looking at the book, she's worried she may have ignored me. And then keeps adding on to the apology train. She's getting her footing back, asking me if I've read much. I try and look cool and collected by saying the classics. She was surprised by that, admitting that they're not that entertaining, but she respects what the authors were trying to do. She then gets worried that the shop owners wouldn't like us loitering in the front of the door. But I know Bunkichi, he's probably got a big ass grin on his face because I brought a girl over, but she asked me if I'm having fun with her, and honestly, yeah, it's nice to have someone different to talk to that isn't, well, crazy. She was happy to hear that, as she wants to say something that's on her mind. She wants to be less afraid of men. Her homeroom teacher gave her tasks to accomplish, but her fear makes it so all she can do is nod. I ask if she's only like that with men. She says that it's not much of a story, simply her dad is a very scary person. They're not in the same house anymore, but she can still see that face when he was mad, and now when she sees a man, all she can see is that face. That just sounds awful. I apologize for bringing it up, and she was happy that I care for her, thanking me, as with her appreciation for me, I feel our bond grow closer. As now we go our separate ways, and you know me, there's not much to do on a Thursday, so I get myself some academic boosts. May 29th. In the school I overhear some worrying news. Apparently someone in the second year is getting bullied. It's some really heavy stuff. I know that we have some of the more crueler ways to bully people, so I hope whoever it is gets help before it's too late. As with another boring and long lecture from Edagawa that boosts my academics, school was over.
What a workout. I got...
So then, I pretended to take a picture with my cell phone, and she totally freaked out and started crying. It was like we caught her red-handed or something. You should have seen the look on her face.
It was priceless.
Wow, that's pathetic. I've never laughed so hard in all my life.
They're making fun of someone? Bullies.
Huh? Did you hear a voice? It's calling me.
Huh? What voice? I don't hear anything. Maki? What's going on? Are you listening to me? Maki?
Hello? Huh? Are you feeling alright? Yeah, sorry. What were we talking about?
They're finally gone. Ugh, I can't stand girls like that.
Originally I was going to hang out with Miyamoto, but I didn't have the chariot persona on hand, so I gave up and see how Kenji's plan is going, heading out to eat. He talks about her, says her first name rather than her second. Apparently she's popular with the guys and he's taken her away from them, like they never had a chance, and sure, if that works with you, man. Apparently she's a strict teacher with grades, but she's really sweet at home, as he continues to talk. I think she's being a tutor to him, and he's turning into something that it really is not. It's hard to really stay focused on it when all it just feels so wrong. But then he once again talks about Takuba. He still thinks that we've got a thing going on, I guess, as he once again tells me not to tell anyone about his secret plan, trusting me, and with that, our bond grows closer. He knows that he's way behind to catch up on his favorite show, thinking that it might be because life is better than that show now. And after listening to him for what felt like days, I get to go home. And during the night, Sonata wanted to grab a bite to eat, so I decided to tag along. He says that he's gotten his edge back since he's been able to focus on his training, thinking that I've really stepped up as a leader, and because of that, tonight's food is on him. I say I can handle it, but free food is free food. He's happy his gut was right about me, but reminds me not to push myself, and if I need help, he'll help. Suddenly a groupie comes seeing Sonata, and wants their pictures taken with them fangirling, but Sonata is polite but firm, simply saying that he's busy and he doesn't like pictures taken. They continue as a crowd starts to form. Sonata, seeing how this is going, says that we should go. He admits there's a problem at school, but he never thought it would happen outside of it. Says it's due to some interviews and some rumors online. He's gotten attention due to his winning streak. I admit that I'm kinda jealous. He's surprised to hear it from me, of all people, saying it's something Junpei would say, but he appreciates my support. All he desires is to be as strong as he can. He wants to train hard and feel real pride in his strength, but can't seem to get out of trouble, and with that, we finally had to get some grub.
Hey, don't be like that. I know a place that'd be perfect for us, girl.
Please, just leave us alone.
One drink, that's all we're asking. Come on, it'll be fun.
We said no, okay?
Hey. Leave them alone. You don't want the police to get involved, do you?
Huh? Who the hell are you?
What? You want to call the cops? Quit trying to act like a big man, you little punk.
Yeah, time for you to piss off.
You piece of...
Hold up. You got some slick moves. I bet you know how to fight.
So what if I do?
How about you and I go a few rounds? If you ain't too busy, there's a spot around back. Whenever I see guys who think they're hot shit, all I want to do is put them in their place. I bet a lot of people call you a tough guy. So how about we put it to the test?
What, is he scared now?
See? I told you. Nothing but trouble. Stay here. I'll be done in a minute.
What? You think you're gonna beat me just like that?
But don't worry. I won't go all out against an amateur. It's gotta be a fair fight.
Hey, over there! Break it up! Let's beat it.
Instead of food, we're being grilled by the police. Well, at least Sonata is. They seem to be wanting to take us down to the station to talk and notify our parents, which would be pretty hard on my behalf. But Kurosawa comes in to save the day, saying he'll take care of us, and they seem to agree, leaving. He tells us we better not make any more trouble. I say it's not our fault, and he says that why do they get a report of 2 ladies saying that we attacked some punks? Sonata doesn't make things easier with his words, as Kurosawa tells Sonata he needs to think things through more, saying that he is an officer of the law. He doesn't care if they know each other. If he disturbs the peace, he will be dealing with him, and tells me that Sonata is a hothead. I should rein him in a little. I doubt that I can, but I'll try. Sonata calls that bold words, and is happy his arm has healed, as we've got more people to face Tartarus, so no better time than to test his power. As he goes on about wanting to hone his skills, as Kurosawa tells him he hasn't changed at all, taking his leave not before warning us about the hornet nest that we have kept with a gang. And with the interruption, sadly, we are not eating out tonight. He will treat me another time, as he challenges me to keep his pace as he jogs all the way back to the dorm. And I mean, I'm in track, so let's actually see if he can keep those words or eat my dust. And due to that running, I got an additional 5 hit points. May 30th. When I was waiting for class, I overheard some worrying news. Apparently a second year was found at the front of the school gate passed out, which is, well, worrisome. Even more so when I overheard it was in class 2E. I wonder what it's all about, as Junpei says people got a lot of time on their hands, huh? He asks if I know, and I mean, not really. But pretty much, a girl from Class 2E has went missing late last night, and her body was found in the front of the gate. No one really knows what happened, but she's still unconscious. And I mean, I'm not gonna say.
Man, this is a tough case. Even for Junpei Iori, ace detective.
Ace detective? You're so dumb.
More like stupid fat.
Anyways, Junpei asks Takaba what she's been doing all day, and tells us that she saw her on her way to practice yesterday. She seemed normal before, which honestly, as Junpei said, the plot has thickened. But with school over, I decide to help out Yuko with some shopping for the track team. She is happy it's done, and I'm glad I can come with her, not realizing how much there was to buy, but she also wasn't in the right mental space to be alone. I just fumbled my words and said that she did good today. She thanks me, but says I'm supposed to ask what happened today. Anyways, her classic literature pop quiz, she didn't know what the answer was and handed the coder a blank paper. I said it wasn't her fault and she agrees, but he was mad and made her go to the faculty office and lectured her with things like, "At this rate, you'll end up a good-for-nothing adult," and things like that. She thinks that it's way too early to decide on who she'll be when she grows up. We're just teenagers, and I can agree with that, which makes her feel a little bit better, saying that we should enjoy ourselves while we can, but admits that she hasn't thought about that future, focusing on the club for now. As for later, she's got time to think. And with that, our bond has grown closer. After that, she decides to head back to school until she bumps into a kid who apologizes and calls her Auntie Yuko, which makes her feel weird, wanting him to call her Big Sis, and he notices some kids following him as he runs away. She says that kid lives across the street from her, but wonders why he's playing tag here, being quite dangerous, but realizes that she still needs to get back to school soon as the gates are going to close. And with that, I say goodbye to her and try the big challenge at Wild Duck. It's like a bajillion burgers, so I gotta have the right mindset. I have to look away from the pile, I need to eat without stopping, and finally, I thought of something abnormally sour. And with all those 3 combined, I had enough grit to survive, getting 2 points in all 3 of my stats. I'm pretty proud I was able to complete it, and more importantly, as Elizabeth will be happy. But I'm probably gonna be sick in the morning. May 31st. Final day of the month, and it was a lazy one to be sure. I hanged out with Maya in the game, but our bond wasn't close enough for a rank up. That'll be next time. Then I ate the weekend meal at Wild Duck, and it was alright. More importantly, I got to rank 3 in Courage, so that was pretty nice, and that was my day.